Are you worried that rising prices could drain your retirement savings faster than you planned? Inflation doesn't just creep up, it hits hard, and it can quickly shrink the value of what you've worked so hard to save. But the good news? There are smart, proven strategies that can help you keep up with inflation and even grow your wealth as costs rise. In this video, we'll explore the investment moves you can make right now to protect your savings from inflation in 2025 and beyond. From government-backed tips to real estate and commodities like gold and oil, we'll break down the options that can help you stay ahead of inflation. If you've been wondering how to make your money work harder as prices climb, you're in the right place. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to safeguard your financial future and preserve your purchasing power. Let's get started. The impact of inflation on retirement savings. Inflation can quietly erode the value of retirement savings, making it harder for retirees to maintain their standard of living. Over time, prices rise, and the money set aside for retirement doesn't stretch as far as it once did. Imagine someone who retired 20 years ago with a fixed pension. Back then, it might have comfortably covered housing, groceries, and healthcare. But as prices climb year after year, that same pension buys less and less. Groceries cost more, rent keeps going up, and medical expenses don't stay stagnant. The same thing happens with traditional savings sitting in a low-interest account. It might grow a little, but nowhere near fast enough to keep pace with inflation. For retirees relying on fixed income sources like pensions or Social Security, this loss of purchasing power can feel like a slow squeeze. What seemed like a solid financial plan at retirement can quickly start to feel inadequate as everyday costs continue to rise. And when your budget is already tight, those small increases in prices can mean tough choices, like cutting back on essentials or dipping into savings faster than expected. Treasury inflation-protected securities. Tips. A safe bet. Treasury inflation-protected securities, or TIPS, are government bonds designed to help your money keep up with inflation. Here's how they work. When you buy a TIPS bond, the value of that bond adjusts as inflation rises. So, if inflation pushes prices up, the principal amount of your TIPS increases too. This means that when the bond matures, you'll receive a payout that reflects current inflation levels, ensuring that your investment maintains its value over time. Plus, TIPS pay interest twice a year, and these interest payments are also adjusted for inflation. For retirees, TIPS can be a great option because they offer protection from inflation and are backed by the U.S. government. This means you don't have to worry about losing your principal investment as long as you hold the bond to maturity. It's a relatively low-risk way to ensure your savings grow with rising costs. In times of high inflation, TIPS provide a sense of security that traditional bonds or savings accounts simply can't. However, TIPS aren't perfect. If inflation remains low, other investments might outperform them. And since the interest payments are adjusted for inflation, you could earn less in periods of low inflation. But for those who want to prioritize safety and inflation protection, TIPS are a solid choice. Now, let's explore another way to hedge against inflation: investing in real estate, which offers both stability and growth potential during inflationary periods. Real estate, real assets for real returns. Real estate is often seen as a solid hedge against inflation, and there are a couple of key reasons for that. First, property values tend to rise as inflation increases. If you own a home or a rental property, its value is likely to appreciate over time, protecting your investment. Second, real estate can provide a steady stream of income through rent. During inflationary periods, rents typically rise, meaning that property owners can adjust rental rates to keep up with the increased cost of living. This makes real estate particularly appealing for retirees looking to maintain a reliable income stream. There are different ways to invest in real estate. You could directly own rental properties, which allows you to control the asset and receive income from tenants. Alternatively, you might consider real estate investment trusts, REITs. These are companies that own and manage real estate, and they allow you to invest in property without the hassle of managing it yourself. REITs can also offer diversification since they often invest in various types of properties, from apartments to office buildings. Of course, real estate isn't without risks. Market fluctuations, vacancies, and maintenance costs can eat into profits. However, the long-term stability and potential for both income and appreciation make real estate a valuable addition to an inflation-proof portfolio. Next, let's take a look at commodities, another asset class that can help protect your retirement savings from inflation. Commodities, tapping into tangible wealth. Commodities can be a valuable tool for protecting retirees' wealth during inflation because they represent tangible goods like gold, oil, and agricultural products that tend to hold their value as prices rise. When inflation hits, the cost of these basic goods usually goes up, which means that investing in commodities can help your portfolio keep pace with higher prices. Gold, in particular, has long been seen as a safe haven during inflationary times, as it tends to retain value when currencies weaken. Oil, on the other hand, is critical to various industries, and as demand rises, its price often increases, benefiting investors. Agricultural commodities like wheat or corn can also see price boosts during inflation as food costs climb. One of the main advantages of commodities is that they are physical assets. Unlike stocks or bonds, they aren't just paper. This makes them less vulnerable to inflation's erosive effects on money's purchasing power. However, commodities are also known for being volatile. Prices can swing dramatically based on supply and demand, weather events, or geopolitical factors. So while commodities can help hedge against inflation, they should be part of a diversified portfolio to manage risk effectively. Let's explore another strategy for inflation protection: dividend-paying stocks, which offer both income and growth potential during inflationary periods. Dividend-paying stocks. Income that grows with inflation. Dividend-paying stocks can be a great way for retirees to generate an income stream that keeps up with inflation. When you invest in companies that pay dividends, you're essentially getting a share of their profits. What's even better is that many companies, especially those with a strong track record, regularly increase their dividend payouts. This means your income can grow over time, helping to offset the rising cost of living. Sectors like utilities and consumer staples are particularly known for offering inflation-resistant dividends. These companies provide essential services like electricity, water, and food that people need no matter what's happening in the economy. Because of this, they tend to maintain steady revenues even during inflationary periods, making their dividends more reliable. For retirees, choosing companies with a long history of increasing dividends is key. This helps ensure that your income doesn't just stay flat, but grows to meet rising expenses. While dividend-paying stocks carry some risk, they offer a way to combine income with potential for growth over the long term. Adjusting bond portfolios for inflation protection. Traditional bonds can struggle during inflationary periods because rising interest rates usually follow inflation. When rates go up, the value of existing bonds falls since new bonds are issued with higher yields. This makes it tough for retirees relying on fixed income investments, as the purchasing power of their bond income declines while costs keep rising. To better guard against inflation, many turn to alternatives like inflation-linked bonds. These bonds, such as TIPS, adjust their principal value with inflation ensuring that your investment keeps pace with rising prices. Another option is floating rate bonds, which have interest rates that reset periodically, meaning they can rise with inflation, offering more protection than traditional fixed-rate bonds. Balancing your bond portfolio with these inflation-resistant options can provide some stability in uncertain times. However, it's essential to combine these with other assets like dividend-paying stocks or real estate to maintain a well-rounded portfolio that can weather different economic conditions. Diversifying with international investments. International diversification can be a powerful tool for retirees looking to protect their savings from inflation. By spreading investments across both developed and emerging markets, retirees can tap into growth opportunities that may not be available domestically. In developed markets, economies tend to be more stable, offering relatively lower risk and steady returns. On the other hand, emerging markets can offer higher growth potential as their economies are often expanding at a faster rate. This combination provides a balance, helping retirees manage risk while still positioning for growth. Investing internationally also means that retirees are less dependent on their home country's economic conditions. If inflation is particularly high in one region, having assets spread across different economies can help offset losses. However, it's essential to consider currency risks. Exchange rate fluctuations can impact returns, so it's important to choose investments wisely and consider currency-hedged options when needed. By diversifying internationally, retirees can protect their portfolios from inflationary pressures at home while taking advantage of global growth. Next, let's look at annuities, a tool that can provide guaranteed income and help retirees maintain financial security during inflationary times. The role of annuities in fighting inflation. Inflation-adjusted annuities offer retirees a guaranteed income stream that increases with inflation, making them a solid option for those looking to maintain purchasing power as prices rise. Unlike traditional annuities, which pay a fixed amount, inflation-adjusted annuities ensure that your income grows over time to match the rising cost of living. This can provide peace of mind for retirees who want predictable income that won't lose value over time. There are different types of annuities to consider. Immediate annuities start paying out soon after you invest, while deferred annuities begin payments later, allowing your money to grow before distributions start. Both can be inflation-adjusted, offering long-term protection. However, annuities do have downsides. They often come with higher fees, and once your money is in an annuity, it's usually not easy to access, which can reduce liquidity. Despite these drawbacks, annuities remain a reliable way to secure an inflation-resistant income stream in retirement, especially for those seeking stability over growth. Maintaining a balanced portfolio. Combining strategies. Creating a diversified portfolio is key for retirees who want to protect their savings from inflation while balancing risk and return. By incorporating a mix of inflation-proof strategies like TIPS, real estate, commodities, and dividend-paying stocks, retirees can spread risk across different asset classes. Each of these investments performs differently under various market conditions, which helps cushion the impact of inflation on any one part of the portfolio. For example, while TIPS provide a safe, inflation-adjusted return, real estate can offer both income and long-term growth potential. Commodities, like gold or oil, can rise in value when inflation spikes, giving an extra layer of protection. Together, these assets create a more stable overall portfolio that can weather different economic environments. It's also important for retirees to regularly review and adjust their portfolios. As inflation and market conditions change, making tweaks, like increasing exposure to inflation-protected assets, helps keep the plan on track. Staying flexible ensures that retirees can keep up with inflation while maintaining a balanced approach to risk and return. Tax efficiency, maximizing returns while minimizing costs. Minimizing tax liabilities is an important part of protecting retirement savings from inflation. One effective strategy is to use tax-deferred accounts like IRAs or 401ks. With these accounts, retirees don't pay taxes on their investment gains until they withdraw the money, allowing their savings to grow faster over time. This can help offset the impact of inflation on purchasing power. Another option is to take advantage of capital gains tax breaks. By holding investments for longer periods, retirees may qualify for lower long-term capital gains tax rates, which can reduce the overall tax burden on their investment returns. Being mindful of when and how assets are sold can also prevent unnecessary tax hits. Working with a financial advisor is essential to optimize both tax efficiency and inflation protection. An advisor can help retirees make informed decisions about tax-deferred accounts, withdrawals, and investment strategies, ensuring that they keep more of their savings as prices rise. Now let's wrap up with some practical financial planning tips to help retirees stay ahead of inflation and protect their hard-earned savings. Financial planning tips. Staying on track. To stay financially healthy during inflationary periods, retirees need to regularly review their income and expenses. As prices rise, it's important to make sure your income sources, whether from investments, Social Security, or pensions, are keeping up with your cost of living. Tracking your expenses and adjusting your budget as needed can help prevent surprises and keep your savings from being depleted too quickly. Another key step is to review your investment portfolio at least once a year. Make sure you have a good mix of inflation-proof assets like TIPS, real estate, and dividend-paying stocks. If necessary, make adjustments to ensure your portfolio stays aligned with your long-term goals and inflation protection needs. Finally, don't hesitate to seek professional advice. A financial advisor can help you optimize your retirement plan, ensure you're minimizing taxes, and keep your investments balanced in changing economic conditions. By staying proactive and regularly checking in on your finances, you can better protect your wealth from inflation and ensure a comfortable retirement. Now, let's wrap up with a quick recap of the strategies we've covered to help you safeguard your savings during inflation. Securing your wealth against inflation in 2025 and beyond. In this video, we've covered several inflation-proof strategies to help you protect your retirement savings. From TIPS and real estate to commodities and dividend-paying stocks, each of these investments can play a role in shielding your wealth from rising prices. We also highlighted the importance of tax efficiency and staying proactive by regularly reviewing your income, expenses, and portfolio. The key takeaway? Diversification is crucial. By spreading your investments across different asset classes, you can balance risk and reward, keeping your financial plan on track during inflationary periods. Now is the time to review your portfolio and make any necessary adjustments. Don't hesitate to seek professional advice to ensure your savings remain secure. With careful planning and the right strategies, you can confidently navigate inflation in 2025 and beyond, preserving your wealth for the future. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more advice and tips to keep your financial future on track.